It is December 12th of 2019. We are now just 8 days away from the official release of Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker, an official brand new scene just dropped by Disney and Lucasfilm that we're going to get right into the breakdown right now. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, do be aware, we will be going into spoilers after and while we do this breakdown, so if you guys don't want to be spoiled, I do heavily suggest that you guys back out of this video right now, as this full clip literally confirms many of the leaks that we've been talking about for a couple of weeks on end. So in the very beginning, we get the Lucasfilm logo, and it opens up with a shot of space. You can see a nebula there from what it seems, and we have Kylo Ren's TIE Fighter jumping through hyperspace, and he approaches the world of Exegol. So in case you guys did not know, this world that Kylo Ren is approaching is the world of Exegol. This is said to be the very opening of the movie just after the credits roll. Now, why Disney and Lucasfilm dropped this full scene, I'm not quite sure, but it seems like a big marketing stunt in order to get people interested in, basically since the marketing of this movie has been quite poor, based on the TV spots and trailers, etc. So, Kylo Ren's new TIE Fighter approaches the world of Exegol, and he approaches this large base. Now, this is the base that we've been talking about that belongs to Emperor Palpatine. You can see how it's hovering over the surface, how there's lightning here on the left and right sides of the screen happening. You can see some lights, actually, as well. And as Kylo Ren approaches the base, he lands his TIE Fighter. Now, this is the same exact shot that we got in the D23 teaser a couple of months ago, you guys may recall, back in August. Same exact sequence, except no music over the shot, and we have him igniting his crossguard lightsaber. But this is where things begin to get very interesting, alright? Now, this is basically where Kylo Ren enters the base and goes down the elevator that has actually been leaked for a couple of weeks on end now. Once again, this confirms the plot leaks that we have been talking about. Everything is starting to fall into place here. So Palpatine's base opens up, Kylo Ren takes the elevator down, and this is where we see statues in the background, as you can see right here. We're not quite sure exactly what they really are, but they seem to be ancient Sith statues. Again, the world of Exegol, in case you guys did not know, is actually a dead world that contains a dark temple that once belonged to the ancient Sith in the unknown regions. So Kylo Ren turns around, and this is where you hear dialogue of Palpatine saying, "At last, my boy." Alright? And then it pauses as we go through more footage. And this is where we see Kylo Ren entering the base once more. You can see these tall structures. This looks like it's going to be the shrines of the Sith location that we've been talking about for a couple of months now. These large statues of different Sith that we've been talking about. You guys may recall that Kylo Ren goes over to the shrines of the Sith in a place called the Dark Spire. Now in here, alright, you can see the lightning further. He has his crossguard ignited, and this is where Palpatine states again, "I have been every voice you have ever heard." And this is where you hear Snoke's voice, and even Darth Vader's voice, where Palpatine says, "inside your head." And then you have the Palpatine laughter. Very interesting scene, because you do see, in the background, it does line directly up with the leaks that we've been talking about. Let's go back a little bit here, alright? So, you guys may know about the Snoke clones in The Rise of Skywalker. And there is a shot in here that lines directly up with the Snoke clones. So I want to actually show you that right here. These are the tanks that we've been talking about. Basically, Snoke clones are said to be inside of those tanks in The Rise of Skywalker. When Palpatine says, alright, "I have been every voice," and then he screams, "you have ever heard," that's supposed to be Snoke's voice. And then, inside your head is Darth Vader's voice. So once again, in the leaks that we've been talking about, Palpatine is said to reveal that he is indeed Snoke, that he has actually been controlling Snoke from the very start. And now, it also confirms what we went over, that basically Palpatine has been talking to Kylo Ren through the melted Vader helmet, pretending to be Darth Vader, as we talked about a couple of months ago. Very interesting scene. I will say this seems like it's going to be the stronger part of The Rise of Skywalker. But based on what has actually been leaked for this movie, I do have a lot of concerns about this film. It does cut over to the world of Pisana, but it's all old footage that we have already seen. That is the main sequence, guys. Very intriguing material. It does line directly. Now, we have been talking about how James Earl Jones apparently had a role in this movie in some way, shape, or form. We weren't quite sure exactly what scenes he was really involved in or what new pieces of dialogue of Darth Vader there really was. But at the very same time, there is a moment in this new clip that does in fact confirm that there is, of course, going to be brand new dialogue of Darth Vader. So the question remains, does it match with the rumors that James Earl Jones actually provided dialogue for The Rise of Skywalker at some point in time in the very beginning of this movie? Or is it somebody else emulating the voice of Darth Vader? Now, I will say it sounds a little bit different, but at the same exact time, it sounds like it is James Earl Jones. Now, like I say, those statues that you do see, those are actually a part of the Shrines of the Sith. This is the Shrines of the Sith location that we talked about for a couple of months. You guys may recall that each and every Sith statue that you do see has an actual past and has a story and even Sith relics inside of those statues that stand 50, 100, 200 feet tall. Different, all different heights and stuff around those lines. So this entire clip of The Rise of Skywalker, I think, is a marketing piece by Disney and Lucasfilm in order to get the fans interested in this movie. I will admit that the way that they put it together in this actual clip for The Rise of Skywalker is quite strong. However, the other things that we've been talking about sounds quite concerning, everything ranging from Rey killing Palpatine and Palpatine dying by the hands of Rey in the movie, and how Palpatine is essentially a dead corpse being controlled by his own spirit. So some of you guys out there may like that idea, some of you may not like that idea. And I would really like to know exactly what you think about this brand new clip about The Rise of Skywalker. Does it impress you? Does it not impress you? It seems to be very dark and gritty. However, it is going to be a very brief segment at the very beginning of Episode 9. Obviously, this lines directly up with the Snoke clones and the fact that Palpatine was able to use his essence in order to reach out to Kylo Ren, and using the Darth Vader melted helmet as a conduit, if you will, to talk to Kylo Ren over from the unknown regions from afar. Now, like I say, this entire clip confirms everything, all the different plot leaks ranging from the Snoke clones to Palpatine getting killed by the hands of Rey and all these different aspects of the movie, and it really does line directly up with everything. So, with that being said, alright, the very beginning of the movie, the world of Exegol, in case you guys are not filled in on this, the world of Exegol is said to be a part of the unknown regions and is said to reside just near a force nexus called the Beyond. The Beyond is said to be by far the most powerful force nexus there is, and it could very well be that actual nebula that we do see in the background where Kylo Ren comes through with his TIE fighter. It could very well be that is the Beyond, or it could be something else entirely different. And we do know that J.J. Abrams wanted to make this movie very dark, and the reason as to why I believe that this particular scene seems so gritty, I will admit that this scene in particular, it really seems like it comes from the movie It and the movie It Part 2. Something about it, guys, I don't know why, but it reminds me of the movie It, the way Palpatine says, "At last, my boy, I have been every voice you have ever heard inside your head." So yeah, there you have it, guys. That's the full breakdown of that scene that Disney and Lucasfilm dropped today on December 12th. Everything ranging from the Shrines of the Sith, the world of Exegol, the Beyond, and not even that, also the dialogue of Palpatine revealing that he is indeed Snoke and was pretending to be Darth Vader through the melted helmet. So, with that being said, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.
From night to moon we hear them moan. forget